Welcome to This Explainer. Right now, literally right above our heads, there's a silent war beginning. And it's a war that won't just introduce a few cool new gadgets or shift a couple of borders on a map. No, this is a competition that's going to completely reshape our global economy, totally redefine our technology, and rewrite geopolitics for the next century. We are standing on the very edge of a modern-day gold rush. But this time, the frontier isn't out west. It's straight up. Okay, let's dive right into this. 10 quintillion dollars. That is a 10 followed by 18 zeros. That staggering number represents the estimated potential value of just one single rock floating out in our solar system, an asteroid called Psyche 16. To put that completely mind-boggling number into perspective, the wealth locked inside that one single asteroid could buy every country on Earth 1,000 times over. It's an unfathomable amount of wealth, and the race to claim it is already well underway. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, the trillion-dollar space rock. 2, Earth's ticking resource clock. 3, the new space superpowers. 4, how to mine an asteroid. 5, the danger of space wealth. And finally, 6, our multiplanetary future. Section 1, the trillion-dollar space rock. And the actual composition of this thing brilliantly illustrates exactly why Psyche 16 is getting so much attention. This isn't your standard dusty space rock. Not at all. It's a massive metallic world made almost entirely of highly valuable elements, specifically iron, nickel, and gold. Think about it. When you have a solid exposed mass of these precious metals just floating there in the void, it completely changes the calculus of space exploration. We aren't just talking about pure science anymore. We're talking about pure, unadulterated resources. Moving on to Section 2, Earth's ticking resource clock. Down here on Earth, we are kind of running out of time, and definitely running out of easily accessible materials. The critical minerals we so desperately need to build our high-tech future, stuff like lithium and cobalt for electric car batteries, or copper for advanced microchips, they're becoming incredibly hard, ridiculously expensive, and frankly really environmentally damaging to extract. But look up. The asteroid belt offers this pristine, untouched, boundless treasure trove. It's a really stark contrast, right? The dirty, rapidly depleting reality of Earth's mining infrastructure versus the absolutely limitless promise of space. Just let this next fact sink in for a second. A single relatively small asteroid can contain more platinum than has ever been mined in the entire span of human history. For some quick context here, all the platinum ever mined on Earth would easily fit right inside a typical suburban living room. Crazy, right? The sheer scale of this space gold is genuinely difficult to wrap your head around, but it is absolutely the key to unlocking a futuristic, high-energy civilization. If we want to keep advancing as a species, we quite literally have to look up. Section 3, the new space superpowers. Now, what's really fascinating here is the sheer diversity of the players getting involved in this silent war. We're seeing global superpowers operating right alongside private billionaires. You've got NASA, already launching missions to investigate metallic worlds like Psyche up close, to gather that crucial preliminary data. At the exact same time, China is aggressively pursuing and testing its own space mining and extraction capabilities. But the real wild card, that lies with private giants like SpaceX and Blue Origin. See, they aren't just looking at the rocks. They're actually building the massive infrastructure required to make space travel cheap and routine. They are effectively laying down the railroads for this new gold rush. And the financial stakes for whoever actually wins this modern space race, they are completely unprecedented. The very first entity to successfully mine an asteroid and bring that value back to Earth won't just be incredibly wealthy. They are on track to become the world's first trillionaire. That is a level of consolidated economic power that will quite literally rival entire nations. All right, Section 4, how to mine an asteroid. Okay. So mining in space is arguably the ultimate engineering challenge in human history. We are dealing with wildly hostile, extreme environments. First off, you've got zero gravity, which makes digging and drilling entirely different physics problems. I mean, you push a drill into a rock, and the rock pushes you right back into the void. Second, there's extreme radiation out there that can fry conventional electronics and obviously harm humans. And third, the massive distances create devastating communication lags. You can't exactly just send a mechanic out to fix a broken drill bit when it's located millions of miles away. So to get around all this, scientists are actively testing some blueprints that sound straight out of sci-fi. The current plan? Send specialized spacecraft to essentially lasso a small asteroid. Yeah, like a cosmic cowboy. Alter its trajectory to pull it closer to us, and park it in a stable orbit around the moon. From there, they'd process the materials right in space, potentially using massive solar mirrors to focus sunlight, literally melting the rock to separate the precious metals from the slag. I know, it sounds like a movie plot, but the math and the preliminary tests for this are already happening right now.
Section 5. The danger of space wealth.
All of this incredible potential brings us face to face with a total geopolitical nightmare. Who actually owns space? If a private company or, say, a single nation hauls an asteroid into lunar orbit and just starts cutting it up, whose property is it really?
Currently, our entire legal framework essentially rests on the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. This is an international agreement that explicitly states no nation can claim sovereignty over or own space or any celestial body. But here's the catch. That treaty was written way before commercial asteroid mining was even a remote realistic prospect. Because of that, the laws specifically regarding resource extraction, actually taking the valuable materials out of the rock, remain a highly contested legal gray area. And this kind of ambiguity, it is setting the perfect stage for potential international conflict.
So the really crucial point to take away from all this is that a sudden massive influx of space wealth could actually be hugely destructive. Just imagine if thousands of tons of platinum suddenly hit the earthly market. The sheer supply alone would crash the value of these metals overnight. Entire global economies that currently rely on terrestrial mining could completely destabilize. And honestly, worst of all, without crystal clear laws in place, competition over the most valuable, easily accessible asteroids could incite actual violence, potentially sparking a brand new era of space wars over celestial territory.
Which leads us to our final section, Section 6, our multiplanetary future.
There's a popular saying in this field: asteroid mining is about more than just money. It's about survival. And yeah, the risks of market crashes and space wars are terrifyingly real, for sure. But expanding our resource base beyond the fragile, limited biosphere of Earth isn't just a greedy quest for wealth. It's a completely necessary journey to ensure we don't permanently exhaust our home planet. Look, to truly become a multiplanetary species, if we ever want to build sustainable colonies on the Moon, on Mars, and beyond, we simply cannot afford to launch all our heavy building materials from the bottom of Earth's gravity well. It is just way too expensive. We absolutely must learn to harvest and use the resources of the stars, right out there where they are, if we want to secure our long-term future. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought to chew on. As we actively build the ships and try to write the laws for this trillion-dollar frontier, what do you think? Should we be mining the heavens to secure humanity's future, or are we just simply exporting our earthly greed and conflicts to the stars? It's an incredibly complex issue, and there are definitely no easy answers here. I really encourage you to share your thoughts down in the comments. Let's get a discussion going. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.